What is going on, everyone? How's everyone doing today? All right, just give me a few minutes. All right. There we go. All right, then. Hope everyone can hear me okay. Hello, hello. And welcome to my talk slash review of the horror movie Critters. You know what? Hang on. Let me kill a light here real quick. All right, then that's a little better. Hey guys, okay, so let's talk about the movie Critters. Now, Critters, for some of you who don't know, Critters it was made in 1998. It's a lovely story about small farm town, small farm family who works on the farm. Duh, but you got the mom who's Cleo Pons. Okay, okay, yes, Cleo Pons. Yes, they are basically armed gremlins. That's not bad. They are kind of like the gremlins because the critters or the krites as they are called, they are very intelligent creatures. Okay, in the beginning of the movie, they open up and these damn things steal a spaceship. Okay, so they're gonna just open it up and then boom, aliens escape maximum security prison, sent out the bounty hunters. And these bounty hunters, oh my god, the outfits they got for this. I'm like, so you decide on this movie, and then you're like, hey, let's get some bounty hunters in here. They'll be like Boba Fett and everything. And it's like, what? So they got them in these leather outfits, which I'm not gonna say they're kind of cool. I mean, I'll admit it, and then you got the weapons. But the great thing about these bounty hunters is that they're sort of like chameleons, okay? Their faces change, and when this movie as it's going on and as we see the scenes with the bounty hunters, we see one of the bounty hunters transforming into a rock star from Earth. And the way they do it and everything, the effects of it, it's kind of like a reverse candle where you see like you see movies where people will like they'll show a candle slowly melting. This is that, but in the reverse. So you got the bones, you got the skin, you got all that stuff you see, and that's just it was just very awesome, kind of like Harley Davidson and Marble bad guys, but from space. Yeah, kind of indeed. So as the story progress, these creatures land on the farm and then begin to wreak havoc. And who is the hero of this? Is it Paul? No. Is it his wife? No, but she is a badass. Is it their doting daughter and her boyfriend? Sadly, no. Who's the one who pretty much warns everyone that crazy shit's going down? It's the kid. That's right. The kid sees all this along with the town drunk and the town sheriff, and they all try to battle these creatures out. Now, I don't know how the hell they thought of these creatures when they, thought of them. Because I'm like, they're like a cross between a porcupine and a oh god, I had this like I had something else for this. But think about oh no, not gerbil. Fuck. What else could I compare these to other than a porcupine? Cleo Pons, help me out. Porcupine, god damn, what is it? Because it was a porcupine and something else. Anyway, I'm getting over it. Just think of it as like a bad hedgehog. That's what it is. A porcupine and a hedgehog were just so angry and they made a baby, and these babies turned out to be the critters, okay? Because the armadillos, yes. Yes. Okay. You cross porcupine, hedgehog, armadillo, and you get a critter or a crite. And what's really interesting about these creatures is that they not only do they have super intelligence, but they're also very crafty. They're very smart. They're very, they'll learn the praise whenever they can. Oh, thank you. Yes, hedgehog. They're like Sonic the Hedgehog's space cousins. Um, yeah, they have these little spikes in them. They shoot these things out, and what they do is when you get hit with one of these spikes, they pretty much you're just like boom. It's sort of like a tranquilizer, if you will. It weakens their prey so that they can eat them. These things will actually not Laurel their prey and then attack all at once. They use their numbers to their advantage, and because they are so small, they're able to hide in the corners that are very hard to spot. So, as we continue with the movie, the bounty hunters come to town and everything else. We're seeing more and more makeup effects, more transforming from the bounty hunters. One of them even transforms to a guy who had his face eaten and everything, and that was just, you know, hang on, what is this? They don't look like a smaller version of one of the bad guys from Masters of the Universe. Masters of yes, that one dude with the hair and everything else. Yes, he does. Okay, so what Cleopatra is talking about in Masters of the Universe. If you have not seen this movie, where have you been? You need to see Masters of the Universe. Okay, it's a good movie if you want to, kill some time with some friends and whatnot. There is a character on Skeletor's team. Well, it's something you can watch if you want to kill time. It's not like the greatest movie in the world. It's not like I'm gonna do a review about that. But well, no, I might actually because maybe not. I'm not sure. But yeah, no, it's a good movie to kill time if you want to kill time. That's all it is. Um, yes, what he's referring to is one of Skeletor's team guys. They do look like a bigger version of the critter. He's got the hair, he's got the face. Wonder if it's made by the same guy or same group of people. But anyway, back to the critters. So they're very smart, very intelligent, and throughout the movie, the family is trying to survive while dad gets eaten up. I mean, these things are just constantly taking chunks out of his shoulder. I mean, his shoulder alone. I mean, if this was actually real life, it'd be gone. They had to either amputate or take out like a big chunk of his shoulder because those things just went to town constantly on his shoulder. Maybe a little too much. We got his leg and everything. We could have used more, arm, maybe a chest bite and everything else. But that's just me. They really focus a lot on the shoulder. One of the interesting things about these creatures and is that they actually have subtitles for when they talk sometimes. So whenever they converse with each other or they're looking at something thinking like, "What the hell is that?" There'll be subtitles of what they said, and I thought that was actually pretty cool that they decided to go with that because you don't see that a lot in movies. And then you also have the fact that they put ET in there with one of them, and this critter is looking at him like, "Hey, who are you?" And he's like, "Come on, come on!" And then he just like decides to rip ET's head off and everything else. Um, Also, what's really interesting is that the faces the critters will make whenever something will happen to them. Like one of them blew up, and he was like, "Ah, ah!" And I'm just like, so not only did you guys make these things smart, you made them very aggressive. You you also decided to throw a little comedy in there about the expressions on their face. And that's just a big fun, I think, for everyone involved in the film. It's just that, hey, we're probably not gonna make so much money in this movie, so let's just have fun with this. And sure enough, they did. This film franchise has spawned many, many more critter movies. I mean, altogether, you got about, I think, the four, and then there are two more. So about six films, if I'm not mistaken. Altogether, there's about critter movies. So, and I haven't seen the two of them so far. I've seen one through four. I have not seen two yet. I will be reviewing all the critter movies though. So eventually, I will see those other films, and I will be talking about them. Yes, as the story going on, we do notice something interesting, and that's one of these critters is actually growing, and he's just becoming this big old behemoth-sized monster and everything else. And we see this as the boy is trying to, get help and everything else. Also, one other thing I should probably actually no, I won't point it out. You just have to see it for yourself. But as the story continues, one of the creatures does grow. The boy sees this and everything, and he just like, oh shit, they're getting bigger. So story still continues and whatnot. We see the bounty hunters coming in, their guns are blazing and whatnot, taking out these critters left and right. And these guys don't really talk much. They're the very strong silent type. Think You know how Dwayne Johnson's got the eyebrow raised? These guys just have the strong face phase, like, they definitely want the bounty hunters to be that sort of, we're here, let's kill some shit, you know. And I just found that to be just funny as hell. And throughout the movie, in the end, all the critters die, or do they? I mean, we have all these other movies that they die. But anyway, all in all, this film was very good. This is one of the films I actually used to watch when I was a kid. I was probably like 10 when I saw this movie came out. Unfortunately, it was because it was rated R. It was a TV version of it, and I wore that tape out like crazy because I have a grandmother who would always sometimes record all these horror made for TVs, TV movie horror movies, or not TV horror movies. Whenever the horror movies would come on, she would say, "Hey, baby, do you like these sort? Did you like this movie?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah." And she's like, "Okay, I'll make you a tape." This is back when you could, when you recorded stuff on VHS and whatnot. So anyway, she made me that, and then till I was like, I want to say sophomore year of high school is when the tape finally died. But I played that thing so much, and there was other stuff on there as well. She had the second Fly movie on there. What else did she have on there? So it was Critters, the second Fly movie, and I think A Nightmare on Elm Street. One of the Nightmare on Elm Streets I think was on there. Not entirely sure, but moving on. If you guys have not had a chance to see the first Critters movie, I suggest you watch it because it's a good way for you to get a sense of what the rest of the movie is going to be like, the comedy style, the action sequence, the special effects, and just the Kreitz himself. Which I gotta say, it's like Cleopon said. By the way, if I'm missaying your name, I do apologize. They are like armed gremlins. Okay. In fact, I wonder who would win the fight between gremlins and critters. It's kind of like the deadliest warrior. Who would win? The gremlins? Who started it? I'm actually glad you asked that. Okay, give me 1 second. I have this all tabbed up here and everything. So we have Dee Wallace, who plays Helen Brown. We have Emmett Wash, who plays Harv. Billy Green Bush plays Jay Brown. And how many of you, I'm not sure how many of you are Orville fans. Anyone famous? Yes, yes. So if you're a fan of Seth MacFarlane, if you're a fan of Family Guy, if you're a fan of the Orville, you will notice one particular person in this movie, and that is Mr. Scott Grimes himself. He plays the kid, Brad Brown. Now, Scott Grimes, I'm not sure how many of you know what stuff he's been in, but he has been in a lot of successful stuff, such as the Orville. One other thing I did not know he was in American Dad, Law and NBC's famous ER. So definitely give it a check out if you want to see what a young Scott Grimes looks like. And by the way, I should also say when I review the fourth Critter movie, and if you get a chance to see it before I review it, I suggest you go ahead because if you are a fan of a certain actor, I will not say who, but let's just say we see him in this movie. All I'll say is this. This not actually no, I'm not gonna say that because then y'all get it easily like that if I say it. So I'll just say there are a lot of good actors in this movie. This is how a lot of actors, when you look into an actor's career, you see the movies, um, what they started with and everything else, and then you see them in their big pictures, whatnot. These movies, these B and C movies, they're kind of like what a lot of the actors did before they got their chance, the big breaks in Hollywood with some of the big blockbuster movies. Hello, Courtney Theron. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your last name. Yes, yes, that would be God, what is his name? Give me a second. Because he was in that. Billy Zane. Yes, he's actually been in quite a few movies. Let's see. I remember him, and I'm not sure if anyone's seen it yet or not. The Ah, I'm sorry, my mind's drawing blank like crazy. Give me a second because I know it. I know it. Demon is it Demon Blood? Is it what is it? Give me 1 second. I'm looking. Uh Tales from the Crypt, Demon Blood. I believe that's the name of it. That's where he played the yep, it was it. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Blood. That's what he starred in. Yes, Cleo Pons, Titanic. See, I see. Ah, man, I gave out too much because now you probably already know who's in the fourth one, then don't you? But yeah. Anyway, I notice watching these movies, you see a lot of actors when they're just getting their start out and whatnot. So that is kind of interesting to see as well. But yes, the Critters movies are definitely something everyone should definitely be watching. Just it's sort of like and yeah, you are right. It is a classic 80s movie. I give it a B overall. Nope. You're not gonna watch the fourth one? That's okay. At least watch the second one if you get a chance. Definitely watch the second one, okay? If you don't want to watch the third one, that's more than fair. But definitely watch the second one. Yes, he was. As well as one other person. Do you know who that is? Don't Google it. Don't cheat. All right, don't cheat. But yeah, definitely check it out. You'll have to watch the third movie if you want to see. But yes, moving on. Where was I? I'm getting sidetracked here. So yes, it's a fun movie. All right, you look into it, and then when I talk about the next Critters movie, let me know who you found. Yes. So this is something I'm definitely gonna do. I'm gonna talk about all the Critter movies. Once I get through 1 through 4. Yes, yes. Young Leonardo DiCaprio is in the third movie. Yes, you have figured it out. You Googled it, didn't you? Or did you guess it? Did you guess that? Be honest. All right, while we're waiting for him or her, Cleo Pons. So yes, one other thing I want to say about the critters is that when they blow up, these things just like good guess, honest. Okay, okay, you guessed it, and you did guess right. Young Leonardo DiCaprio is a part of this franchise. He is in the third Critters movie. This is when, and we'll talk more about that when I discuss the third one. But yes, one thing I want to say about the critters is that when they blow them up, it's something else because these little things you think they wouldn't have, you know, spewing and everything else. You think it would be a lot, but what it is actually is that since they're so small, I think what they did is when they decided to be like, okay, we're gonna shoot this one, burn this one, and we're gonna blow this one up. I'm not sure what they did exactly. They probably just whatever they used, but they definitely wanted like a spread, if you will. So when they blow these things up, I mean there were just pieces everywhere, and I do mean everywhere. Some on the ceiling. Yeah, Jennifer Aniston. She was definitely in Leprechaun, which was weird when I saw that. I was like, "Is that Jennifer Aniston?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, it's Jennifer Aniston." Yeah, yeah. A lot of '80s movies, you'll see a lot of actors and actresses that you'll recognize more in like the '90s, 2000s TV shows, and then so forth and so forth. But a lot of '80s movies, they'll have a lot of them in there. Yep, definitely. Okay, let's see here now. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about. It was the gentleman who played Ugg. Ah, here we go. Okay, so gentleman who played Ugg. Where is it? I had it first. Just 1 second. Anyone here ever seen the TV series that was on Sci-Fi, Dresden Files? You'll notice the guy who plays Bob. He looked familiar. And when I saw him, I was like, why does he look so familiar? And then I rewatched this movie, and sure enough, it was Lee. I'm not Lee. I'm sorry. It was Ugg from the Tremors movie. And I was like, Ugg, what are you doing here? And the guy actually aged pretty well. Its name is Terrence Mann. He played as Johnny Steele slash Ugg in the first movie. Now, Johnny Steele, if you look in the movie, they have this song, and I had it queued up here, but my laptop deleted it. Hang on. I'm like saying power of Johnny Steele's Power of the Night song. You can find it on YouTube. And they use that as the intro into Ugg, finding his face and everything. And then as that's playing, you see the makeup effect of the bones, the blood. They really went into detail, I gotta say, when they were creating the whole effect and whatnot, which is good to see. I mean, honestly, because nowadays, you see it, you see what they put details, people getting limbs cut off, or people just having their face melted, or bites, whatever. But in this one in particular, it was really detailed. So yes, if you ever get a chance, look up Johnny Steele, Power of the Night. It is on YouTube, and it's not a bad song. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining us. Um, Hopefully, I want to say maybe next week, I will go into another horror movie, and then I'm gonna try and see how I can best let you guys know what movies I'm gonna talk about and all that stuff like there. So if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe. If you haven't hit any of my social media accounts, such as Twitter or Facebook, definitely look those up. Definitely subscribe. Okay. So thank you guys for joining so much. This is my second live stream reviewing horror movies. And I kind of like this. I like the whole interaction thing with the crowd, live chat, and everything. So I want to thank everyone for coming. I really appreciate it. And be sure to share this with your friends. All right. So until next time, I'll see you guys. I want to say, yeah, definitely next week. Bye.